Anyway, we're up to Samech Aleph on the base. We're in the middle of Sugya of Tamun. Rabbi Yehuda said what? That Tamun is Chayiv. The Chacham said Tamun is Pata Bayesh. However, Rav Kahana went ahead and said that it depends where the H started. If the H emanated from your Rishus, then you have the Patur of Tamun. If however you lit it in your friend's Rishus, it's Karv Lamezid and Adam Amasik, you be Chayiv. Rabbi qualified that and said that's not exactly on everything. If it's something that would normally be there, uh, uh, they argue two things. They argue by Talmud in general, and they argue what's inside of it. In other words, if it's kalim that are normally guys in the haystack, if let's say I go ahead to my friend's rishus and I light it up, and let's say there's a hose or a tractor in the haystack. If I light it in my rishus, according to the Chachamim, you putter. If you light it in your friend's rishus, you'd be chayiv. However, let's say your wallet is there. Rabbi Yehuda would say you're chayiv in the wallet, and Chacham would putter you in the wallet, even if you lit it in the friend's rishus, because it's not normally in the haystacks. That was the two sheets we saw yesterday. Tana Rabbanan. We have 4 lines from the bottom. Tana Rabbanan. Amadik a gadish v'hoya ba kalim. You lit a gadish, and there were kalim. Vidalku, and the kalim got ignited. Rabbi Yehuda and Mishalim kol mashu b'seichai. Whatever was in the gadish you pay, because Rabbi Yehuda l'shita saw that Tom and chayiv. V'chacham moimrim ein Mishalim el gadish shel chitim a gadish shel soirin. V'royin makam kalim kilu humalitfua. And the volume taken up, fellas, by the kalim, we view it as if it's what we view it as if it's we view it as if it's chitim or soirim, and whatever it is, and you pay. In other words, so you have to pay whatever inside it takes up. You'd have to pay for that too. The chachamim, right? That's b'madlik b'toich shaloi. When is the machloikis, fellas, between the chachamim and Rabbi Yehuda? That again, guys, Rabbi Yehuda says that you pot the chayev b'tamun, and the chacham hold you pot the b'tamun. That's when you light in yours. Right? V'holcha b'dolka b'seich shel chaveroi. Aval madlik b'toich shel chaveroi divrei akol mishalim kol masher hoye b'socho. Right? You pay everything that's inside. Now, it's not really true about everything. Again, according to the Chachamim, you only pay on tractors or hose. You would not pay on an arniki or on a wallet, right? Take a look at Tosfos. These are the threshing boards. Aval Arniki begadish loy mechayev rabbanan. Afal pi that what you live in the rishus. Okay, so just for the final time, just to get it clear, I'm saying it again for the final time. Eye contact. Let's get this. The Chachamim said the halacha of tamun, and Rabbi Yehuda said that yechayev b'tamun. According to Rabbi Yehuda, it doesn't make a difference if you light it in your rishus and it goes to your friend's rishus. It doesn't make a difference if you lit in your friend's rishus. Why? Because he says Oy Hakama teaches me Balei Kaima. It doesn't teach me revealed things. It teaches me live things, and you're not limited to what? The sada or things that grow in the field, which it says Bayesh. Kaitzim, Gadish, sada. Okay, now, what happens if you light in your friend's field? So again, I think it's important. We said yesterday, just because a damage is done with fire doesn't automatically make it fire. It doesn't make it Aish. If I take a fire and ignite somebody, it's Adam Amatik. I'm a murderer. No difference if according to him. No difference if I gave if I shot him. You're Adam Amatik. So if you would go ahead and go to your friend's field and light the field up, there the Chachamim say it's Adam Amazik, and therefore you would not have the Patur of Taman. However, it's a qualifier. What you would have the Patur of Taman in something that's usually hidden in a haystack. In other words, a farmer doesn't want to bring his utensils in all the time, so he just keeps it in the haystack. But something that could possibly have been there, a treasure chest, a wallet, that the Chacham say you potter. Even on that, Rabbi Yehuda would say Yechayev. So that's machlokes, and that's the brisa being more elaborate than the Mishnah. Okay. Rabbi Yehuda l'chachamim, and Rabbi Yehuda again, who says Yechayev b'taman is Moed l'chachamim. The mashal makam l'chaveru lahagdish gadish. He gives you a shus to go ahead and heap up the haystack. Gives you a shus to heap up the haystack. The higdish, and you do it. The hitmin, and you put something in there. Shem shalim el demei gadish bilvad. In other words, if I give you a shus to bring it in, and you do bring it in, Rabbi Yehuda's Moed, then you will not say taman over here. because you weren't. Why? Because you weren't makabel shmir on this, fellas. If I let you put it on my rishus, let's say I'm makabel shmir. Why do I makabel shmir on? What I see, I see a haystack. I don't have to be makabel shmir on something you have hidden in the haystack. So even though, guys, so even Rabbi Yehuda would say you're chayiv in tamon. This is a hechatimsa where you be part of the tamon. Why? Because you were makabel shmira on something that was hidden. Now, lehigdash chitin. If he gave you rishus to go ahead and put chitin, which is expensive, the higdish sa'irin, and you put in sa'irin, you put in barley, or sa'irin v'higdish chitin. You give rishus for sa'irin, and you go ahead and you put in chitin. Chitin, he gives you rishus for chitin, v'chayfe b'sa'irin, and you chifin b'sa'irin, you cover it up with sa'irin. Sa'irin v'chifin b'chitim. He gives you rishus for sa'irin, you cover it up with chitim. Shein mishalim el demei sa'irin b'vad. You'll only play the Siren. Okay, let's go through each one, guys. Let's go through each one. So the first one we did. Lahagdish chitin v'higdish Siren. So I give you a shus. I'm a kabel for Siren, right? I gave you a shus for chitin, and you put in Siren. So what happens? I can only be chayiv for what's there. So I'm chayiv to pay Siren. Even though I gave you a shus to put chitin. If you put sa'irin and a damage takes place, I can't pay more than it was worth. Next case, sa'irin. I gave you a shus for sa'irin, the higdish chitin. And now, so what's over there? I gave you a shus for sa'irin. I'm only going to watch for sa'irin, right? I don't expect you to put chitin or chitin v'chayf b'sa'irin. And even though I give you a shus for chitin, then I see sa'irin. So I'm only going to watch for sa'irin because that's what it's covered with. That's what I see. Or sa'irin b'chifa b'chitim shein mishalim. In other words, you always get the low. You never go beyond. Again, if chitin and you see chitin, then be chitin. But as long as even if sa'irin, even if you see chitin, you don't be chayiv for sa'irin. Even if you see chitin, you'll be chayiv for sa'irin. Right, for sa'irin. Okay, Lenny, b'samich beis amid aleph. We're parallel to the Taisvis, Rabbi Yehuda, the Mechayiv on this game, Tamon, few lines up. Amar Rava, Samach Beis Amar Aleph. Anaisin dina zahav leisha. Someone gives a dina of zahav to an isha. Now, a dina of kesef is 25. There's 25 dinarim kesef in a dina of zahav. It's 25 times more than a dina of kesef. V'amala, and you tell her his hiri boy shall kesefu. Be careful, it's silver. So you really give her gold. And she thinks it's silver. His ikasai, if she herself damages it, mishalemes dinar zahav. She thinks it's kesef, doesn't make a difference. Mishum the amalah, because he can say to her, my havilech gabei the azakte. What is it to you that you damaged it? In other words, if you damage it, it's irrelevant. You're going to pay for what it is. In Shmira, as we'll see, there's a difference watching kesef and watching gold. But the Indian Nezikin, you did what you did. So you're going to pay for Zahav, even though you thought it was kesef, even though you thought it was kesef. Pasha boy, let's say she's paisheya in the Shmira, and in other words, she's supposed to watch for silver. It's really gold. She's paisheya ba, mishalem shel kesef. She'll only pay kesef. The Amrale, she can say to him, Nitirusa de kaspa kabili alai, Nitirusa de havalai kabili alai. I was makabel to watch silver. I was not makabel to watch gold. Amalei Rav Mordechai Rav Ashi, Aslan bid the Rava Nisanla. You said it in the name of Rava this past din. Anomi mas Nisan pshitlan. We went ahead and we placed this in from a brisa. Chitin, you gave a shus for chitin. V'chifin b'sa'irin, and you covered it up with barley. Sa'irin, you gave rishus to go ahead to bring into your rishus barley. V'chifin b'chitin, and you covered it up with chitin. Ein mishalem ela demei sa'irin b'vad. What do you see? Alma, amalei netirusa desari kabili alai. Hachanami amalei netirusa dehavalei kabili alai. You can say that what I was going to watch sa'irin, I wasn't going to watch chitin. Who I didn't over here. She could say I was going to watch silver, I wasn't going to watch gold. Amar Rav, says Rav the following. Shomas milsil Rabbi Yehuda. I heard something that Rabbi Yehuda said regarding, I guess, Tamin. Lo yadana ma'hi, but I don't know. So Amar Shmuel says, Lo yada Abba, his name is Abba, Rav's name Abba. My Shmiel Rabbi Yehuda, what did you hear? What did you hear? The mechayiv al niskei tamen be'esh. Now, you heard that Rabbi Yehuda said what? That you mechayiv on niskei tamen be'esh. Good. Now, fellas, who when is outside fellas that you, according to Rabbanan, are you ever chayiv on tamen? If you light in the rishus, or even bebira, if it starts in your rishus and goes to the bira. So when it says over here Rabbi Yehuda, it's lav dafka Rabbi Yehuda. If you look at Taisus, guys, the third Taisus down, the Rabbi Yehuda the mechayiv on this gate tamen be'esh. The Rabbanan nami having matzah lemeima the asu takana bebira. That as we're going to see bechol dava ubegadish murigin el revus ashminan. The Rabbi Yehuda feel arniki begadish asu takanas nigzal. Okay, there's a chiddush in Rabbi Yehuda because Rabbi Yehuda holds you be chayv an arniki. The Chacham said you wouldn't be chayv an arniki. Good. So now, an arniki is a wallet. So now, here's the deal. Okay, a lot of information. All the shvuas of the Torah are to get me off the hook. All the shvuas of the Torah to get me off the hook. A shvuas hashomrim. I watched something. You want me to pay? I'm swearing that I've not responded. I was in Pasheya. It's not Shalech Bayad. You're getting off the hook, right? I was entrusted with something. I'm off the hook. Shvuas Moed b'Miktzas, right? You're getting off the hook. You're claiming 100. I'm admitting to 50. You're getting off the hook for 50. Shvuas Eidis, swear that you know Eidis, testimony. I don't know any testimony. Every shvua, the three shvuas, the Araisa, shvuas Eidis, shvuas Moed b'Miktzas, shvuas Hashomim, all to get off the hook. A shvua de Rabbanon is a shvua that the Chacham will say you could take. In other words, I make a shvua and I take. So in a case, for example, something's stolen from you. What's its value? You swear to its value and you're believed and you take that money. Eish, tamun be'eish. What was hidden in the haystack? You say something valuable. Were they metaking the same takana for eish as they were for Gazela or not? Right? Were they the same for Gazela or not? Look at Rashi, guys. Let's see Rashi. About 10 lines up. Asu takanas nigzal be'eshay, ki heichi de takin rabbana lenigzal, just like the rabbana made a takana for the one that was stolen from, lishava, to swear, kama gazlai, how much was stolen, v'yital, and he takes, that nam b'mesech the shuas, elun ishboy and v'noilin. These are the ones who swear and take. Hasocher v'nigzal, kach takinu be'eshay, sheshava mahat hitmen v'yital. So to Bayesh, they were metaking that what? Good. So that's what Rav had heard, and he didn't know. And Shmuel's filling in the blanks. Loi Reb Yehuda afilu, like Tosfos says, afilu be'arniki, right? That what? Who says Taman? You be able, here the Chiddush guys, you're going to say that I had my wallet in there, and I had a lot of money in my wallet. Right? That's why it's like Rabbi Yehuda, because like the Chachamim, there's no hechetim that you can be chayiv for an arniki. You only be chayiv on that's normally put there. Remember, like the Chachamim, even when you light in the person's field and you'll be chayiv for tamun, because it's correct like Adam, you'd only be chayiv on something that's normal there. A wallet, not, and a wallet probably is worth a lot more. Correct. So in other words, gives you that's why the chiddush is Rabbi Yehuda, not the Chacham. That's what Tosfos is saying. Okay, you have to fill in the blanks over there. Okay, so now, very geschmack, good. So they made this takana, just like the nigzal can swear and take this takana. So too, according to Rabbi Yehuda of Tamun, that is chayiv. You could even say, and even speaking about a wallet, you could say that was the price, and you would take it. You'd swear and you take. That's the takana. Now, there's a parsha in the Torah called Meiser. When a person gives over money to the other individual to the government, person he snitches on somebody, you owe money to Uncle Sam. This person is what? He's a guy who you're able to kill. He's a guy able to kill. In Meister, they used to kill him. In Europe, they killed him. I told you the story with the where's it from? Where's Stropkiv. My father's family came from Czechoslovakia, a place called Stropkiv, and my my father's brother told me a story about his grandfather who was in Stropkiv when there was a Meiser, and they drew lots and what to do. And even the Stropkiv Rebbe was part of the lots. And some people who won, they they took care of him. They did the right thing. So again, now the question is a person who is money is given up to the government, is there a takonis hashav the konis of is he believed to say how much was taken away? No, we see by nigzal yes, we see by eish yes, right? What about over here? What about over here? Would it be by a meiser? Would it be such a takana? Boy amema, second word line. Asu takana nigzal b'meiser. Did they make the takana of the nigzal by a meiser? I lie. So lead man yama loy don and dini the gami loy ti boylach the mysterious nami loy daninon. Okay, now we've touched on this throughout the Masechta here and there. The Ikas Sugya, I think, is in Layachbar, in Baba Basra, in the beginning of Baba Basra. We know that I've spoken out. If you mazik directly, guys, you're chayiv. B'yadayim, you're chayiv. If you mazik indirectly, grama is pata. Pata medini yadam chayiv in the shemayim. There's a middle ground. There's a middle ground, according to most Gemaras, called garmi. That garmi is not. It's not biyad. It's not biyadayim, but it's not grama either. It's more assured than grama. It's bari hezeka. It's hezeka miyad. There's a rush in Yoli Achbar that it's clear the hezek's going to happen. In other words, so this is dini digarmi. If you give it, you're causing by telling the government about where his money is hidden, or he owes money to the IRS and he has an account. That's called garmi. So according to Mandiyama, that you don't dodge dini garmi, there's nothing to talk about because there's no money to return because you're part of Medina Yadam. However, Elamandi Omar, who says Yechayev dina gami, Elakiti boilach, Aliba demandi Omar did Dainina dina gami. Also takonis nigzal b'meiser, the mishtaba, he swears how much was taken away b'shakol, and he collects. I lie, and we or not. And the Gemara says teku. It means what? It means an abayad delay. It means a question we don't know the answer to. Ahu gavra. There was this individual. The botash b'kaspa the chavre. He kicked the kaspa seems to be some type of treasure chest. He had a box that he kept his money in. He kicked it and shadya benora, and it went directly into the river. So he caused them a monetary loss. Asamare came along the owner of the kaspasa, the box. V'yamar hachi v'hachi havile begavah. This is what I had inside. Those guys, this is why you should take pictures for your insurance claims. Show us pictures of what you have in your house. Chas v'shalom, this is a classic, right? You can claim this. They say this. You have to have pictures of exactly what you have in your house. Yosef Rav Ashi, V'kama Ayin Bey. Rav Ashi was looking into this matter. Is this guy believed to say this was in here? Ki agav namai. So Amalei Ravina Rav Acha Berei the Rava. V'imila Rav Acha Berei the Rava Rav Ashi. Lav Hainu Masnisan Ditnan. Umod Chacham Rabbi Yehuda b'Madlik Esabira Shemishalin Kol Mashav Taychay Shekain Derech Bnei Adam LaNiach B'Batim. In other words, our Mishnah said that even though the Chachamim say Yepata B'Taman, he's mighty to Rabbi Yehuda by a house, which we know, even though you don't see them, but they're not hidden in the house, so you'll be chayiv. So this guy should be believed to tell us what's in there. This is his house. So Amalei, Idikatoyin Zuzei Hachanami. If the guy was claiming, oh, it's a money box, and he's claiming money, then you're right. You'd believe be moida that he would swear how much there was there, and he would take. Hachanami, the Katoyin Marganisa. You know what? Hacha, what's happening over here? Hacha the Katoyin Marganisa. He's claiming there was precious gems in this box. What's the shaila? Mi monche inish Marganisa b'kaspata. Now again, this is not your bank security vault which you put everything in, right? This is a money box. What? They threw it in the river. It's in the river. So now this precious gem, he claims there was a precious gem in there. So is it the way for a person to put that in there or not? And the Gemara says, or Teku, we remain shver in this as well. We're not pushing the shaila. Only Rav Yemel Rav Ashi, Toyin Kisa de Kasba Bibira. My guy claims that what? A silver cup in his bira. Amalei Chazina, Inish Amidhu. Let's look at the person's financial status. If he's a rich individual, right? The Islay Kasa de Kasba, who has a silver goblet, then he'd be believed. Inami Inish Mehimna He's a trustworthy fellow. The mifkdei in shigabei, that a person would entrust him to watch it for him. Then mishtabe b'shakal, he'd swear and take. So in other words, we make an evaluation of the person. The Eloi, and if not, lav kol kamina, and then you don't have the power to go ahead by and swear. Only Rav Vashi. My being Gazlan the Chamsin. What's the difference between a Gazlan and a Chamsin? Okay, so Midoraisa in the Torah, there's no difference, fellas. Look at Taisvis. Ma bein Gazlan the Chamsin, says Tosfos. Belishna de Kroa ain't chilik benayim. In the pasuk, there's no difference between a Chamsin, no difference between Chamas and Gazela. There's no difference between them. V'hocha komi boyla man bein Gazlan de Rabbanon lechamsin de Rabbanon. What's the difference between a Gazlan de Rabbanon and a Chamsin de Rabbanon? The Tanya, Perik said, Boirer, by Sifu Aleim HaGazlanim HaChamsanim. There is describing the people of Apostle Adis. So then, in addition to those people that I mentioned, they went ahead and they added on Gazlanim HaChamsanim. Umefarish, Gazlan lo yov demei. A Gazlan just takes it, he doesn't give any money. Okay? So, no, in the Midoraisa, there's no difference between the Gazlan and the Chamsin. What's the difference? So continues the Gemara. My being Gazlan and the Chamsin, Amalei Chamsin Yav Demei, Gazlan Yav Demei. So in other words, the guy, you're holding your Mickey Mantle rookie card, and you could do one or two things. You could steal it, or take $10 million, whatever it is. Give the guy $10 million, put it in, and take the card. When you take it without paying money, you're a Gazlan. When you give the money, you're a Chamsin. Either way. Okay, either way. So now, Amalei, Iyav Demei Chamsin Karasle, if he's giving money, they call him Chamsin. Ivan Rav Huna, Taluya Vizavin Zvina Zvina. If you go ahead and you threaten a person that you're going to hang him, right? The sale is a good sale. So, if you give money, it's a good sale. So too, you're not a Chamsin. Like Hasha, Hadam Reitzani, Hadalaim Reitzani. If he says Reitzani, then it's a good sale. If he doesn't say, so a Chamsin is you give money, and the guy says, well, I want my Mickey Mantle card. I don't want to give that away. So that's the difference between a Gazlan and a Chamsin. Big Taisus here in the bottom. You'll see it tomorrow when you chazar daf. You'll do it. Okay, the final Mishnah in the Perek. We've seen this Mishnah before. This is the only Mishnah in Shas that Rabbi mentions Chanukah. We mentioned this. So this is the only Mishnah in Shas where Rabbi mentioned Chanukah. That might jar a memory cell in the old noggin. Noggin? Yeah, noggin. Gates sheyatza mitachas apatish. Right. And gates sheyatza mitachas apatish. You have a spark that shoots out from underneath an anvil. You have a smith. He's hitting the anvil, and a gates shoots out the hizik, and it does damage. Chayiv, right? Chayiv, right? That's kizarik chaitz. It's like it's eishem mishim chitzai. Gomel shayitoyim pishton. A gomel. This is the case we had in the sugya of Eshay. Gazel shayitoyim pishton. A camel that's full of flax. V'avar b'shus harabim, and it's going through shus harabim. V'nichnis pishton elitei chachanus, and the pishton enters the chanus. V'dolkoi b'nei rishal chenvani v'hiligas abira. Very busy camel, right? Guy walking by. It goes into there's a famous picture in a blog of a camel that's loaded up, goes in, gets ignited, and he keeps on going and burns down a building. So who's chayiv? The Bala camel, because after all, he shouldn't have loaded it up like that. Bala Gamel Chayiv. And here Chenvani Neiroi Mibachutz, if the Chenvani left his Neir outside, Chenvani Chayiv. If the Chenvani says he be Chayiv, why? Because obviously it's his Pashia, he should have watched it. If you don't remember Ner Chanukah Pata, if it's Ner Chanukah, you'd be Pata. Now Chachamim hold you, even by Ner Chanukah, you'd be Chayiv. Because just because you have a shus to put it outside doesn't mean you don't have a shus to watch it. Right? Good average just to put it outside, but there's a chiyuv shmira on my menorah that's outside. Yeah, somebody asked me this. Somebody asked me. He said this to me. I thought you have to light in the house. So why are you lighting in the store? So I'm going to turn off my answer when I told him. Okay. Okay. So we did the last Mishnah in Hakainis and Avsamich Beis Amid Beis. So Amar Ravina, Mishmei de Rava, says Ravina in the name of Rava, Shmamina mid Rabbi Yehuda, Ner Chanukah mitzvah lanicha b'toich asara. It's a mitzvah to leave it within 10 tefachim, 10 tefachim of the ground. The Isal Kedaitach Lamaila Me'asara, if you're going to tell me it's above 10 tefachim, Amai Amar Rabbi Yehuda Ner Chanukah Pata Leimalei Habilei Lanuche Lamaila Migamo V'Reichvai. You should have put it higher. In other words, the Baal Gomel should have told him you should have put it higher. Why am right? Why would you be? Why would he be chayiv? In other words, obviously the when you're putting it below 10, you can't taina. You should have put it higher. Ella must be that ner Chanukah, that there's no tfi over there. So in that case, the fact that it's below 10 is because the you can't taina. It should have been higher than that, right? These are like the mile masara. Amayam Rabbi Yehuda ner Chanukah pata. Right, you mekayim the mitzvah even above 10. Leimelei, let the nizik say to the bala haner. In other words, you burn down a bira, so let the bira say to the owner of the shop, right? Let the nizik say to the bala haner. You should, so therefore you can't be pater. It's a mitzvah to leave it within 10. Says the Gemara, you have no raya. Army loy, I can tell you no. Now, my army, that the nizik should have said that you should have made it higher and avoid this, and you didn't, so you're pasheya. Since the chenvani in this case was being asik the mitzvah of Chanukah, kula halei trechi rabbanan. We want him to go ahead and put it higher than 10 tefachim. So Ken Zayin, you could, in other words, you want to bring a raya that it's only kosher within 10, and above 10 it's not kosher, right? You can't bring a raya. Because maybe you taina, you want a taina, I could have put it higher. And I could have put it higher, but I don't have to be matriach myself. Amrav Kahana, Dorish of Nasim by Menyumi Mishmeder of Tanchum, Ner Chanukah Shenichel Lamaila Me Esrim Amma, that you went ahead and put it above Esrim Amma, Psula, it's puzzle. We had two other halachas, guys, remember, above 20, by Sukkah and by Erevin. We had the Mavi by Erevin. So here it says it's Psula. They asked the question, why don't they say make it lower? Why don't they say like make it lower, right? So make it lower, right? Just it says over here. Well, why they should just say make it lower. Well, why they go ahead and saying that it's what? Yeah, look at Taisvis. Tema Habilei Lamema Yimat Kiramina Beresh Masech the Sukkah Mobi the Rabbanon Tani Takanta V'Yeshlai Mamishim the Boy Lamema Sukkah Nachilashim Psula because of Sukkah you don't. In other words, a Sukkah it's puzzle. You can't make it. It's puzzle. So you make it low. It's a different Sukkah, right? So V'Yeshlai another teretz Inami the Fishahay Tzarich LaHarich Baloshin is too long. V'Loy Meyichbe V'Yimat. You'd have to put it out and put it down. So therefore, you just said what? That it's puzzle. Okay, the next. Yeah, now this is the second Masechta, guys.
Okay.
Really, you can make. No, it's not the halfway point. It's the second Masechta, and not in terms of the first part of the Masechta. We dealt with Arba of the Zikin, Hashar Babar Mavaheva. We dealt with Shar. We dealt with Bar. We dealt with Karen Shem Varegel, we dealt with Bar, we dealt with Aish, we dealt with everything. We dealt with Adam. We mentioned Adam, albeit we didn't do a full treaty. How should we say a full treatment of Adam? Because again, the latter part of Masechta deals with Geneva, Gezela, and Chavala. It deals with the halacha of a Ganif, the halacha of a Gazlin, and the halacha of Chavala, someone who's Adam who's mazik another Adam. Okay, and that's the 8th parak. So this parak Meruba is from the most famous prakim in Shas. It's learned in the yeshiva very, very, very well. The amount of Torah on Meruba is Meruba. The amount of Torah Meruba is tremendous amount of Torah on Meruba. But this is Daf Yomi, and we'll do what we'll do. Okay, so Derech Hakdama, guys, outside Derech Hakdama, things that we're very familiar with. Ganif and Gazlan, for example. A Ganif is someone who steals clandestinely. He's a pickpocket. He's a burglar at night. he doesn't go ahead and go take a gun or even without a gun, he doesn't face you and have the audacity to steal that way. He steals clandestinely. He's a ganav. A Goslin has the audacity to steal. He'll steal from you. That's it. He doesn't care. You would think that a Goslin is worth. In fact, we have a limud that the Goslin is not worth. Why? Because the Ganav pays kefil and the Goslin doesn't. A Ganav pays kefil. He pays double. He pays double. He's going to pay double. Double the object, double the worth. He's going to pay double. And we have psukim, chaf beis, ches. I don't have a chumash, right? Okay, we'll see the psukim. You'll see psukim not today. You'll see the psukim again. It's not okay. So that's a ganif. A ganif is going to pay kefil, and a ganif is going to be. We know there by gezela, it's a lavanita klase. The heishiv is a gezela shegazal. After you're over the act of gezela, if you return it, it's you don't get malchus for gezela. You get malchus for geneva. You won't get malchus for gezela, right? L'chayra because you have a mitzvah of hashava. Now. What about there's another parsha in the Torah we call Dalid Vehei. It's a unique parsha. If you steal a shor or a seh, and after stealing it, you either shecht it or sell it, you're going to be chayiv 4 on the seh and 5 on the shor. So now kefil is part of that. So you have the keren is the principal, you have the kefil, so you're going to pay 3 more on the shor and 2 more on the seh. That's called Dalid Vehei. Unique to Shor and Seh. Now, there is, we mentioned this before, in the Parsha of Shoimrim, there's a Tayin Tainus Ganef, a Shoimachinam, if it's stolen from him, right, he's Pata. So he would have to swear it's stolen. You're a Shoimachinam, I'm not paying you. You're only Chayiv B'Shia. Swear you weren't Pashaya, swear, and that's it, and you go off the hook. After he swears, it turns out that he stole it. After he swears, it doesn't turn out it was stolen. It was stolen, yeah. By who? By him. He's going to have to be kefil. Tayin Tainus Ganef, he'll have to pay kefil. Right? He'll have to pay kefil. For what? No, that's shuas. That's when he doesn't have it. Here he has. He says ladam. Ladam is nothing. So over here, so you have to pay. You have to. So now, Ganef, Goslin, fellas, Dalid Vehei, Tayin Tainus Ganef. Okay, so we're going to begin tonight, and we'll get more into it tomorrow. Says the Mishnah, Meruba midas tashlume kefil, midas tashlume abba v'chemisha. There are more occurrences of tashlume kefil than midas tashlume abba v'chemisha. Why? Shemidas tashlume kefil leheges bein b'davar sheyesh baruach hayim. Anything, I'll call the pesha, I'll shor chamar sev al salma, I'll call the kiyuseh. So in other words, you chayiv anything, this geneva by anything. Ubein b'davar shem baruach hayim. Umidas tashlumi abar chemisha enon heges el b'shav sebelvad. Shenemar ki yignav ish shoroi seh utfachay or mecharay. So in other words, obviously the occurrences of paying kefil are multiple times more because it can be anything that you rob, anything that you steal. On the other hand, Dalid Vehei, even though it begins as Geneva, right? It ends Dalid Vehei can only be what on a shor or seh. Ein agoinif achar aganif mishalan tushlam kefil. So Ruvain steals from Shimon steals from Ruvain. If it's found by Shimon, Shimon's going to pay kefil. If Levi steals Ruvain's object from Shimon and you find it in the Rishus of Levi, he's not going to pay kefil. Says Rashi, why? Get to know this pasuk well. Ein agoinif achar aganif tichsiv v'gunav mi beis ha'ish v'loy mi beis haganif, and it be stolen from the house of a man and not from the house of a ganif. So therefore, v'gunav mi beis ha'ish, the din of kefil is only when it's stolen from the owner. If it's stolen from what? Now, even if the Baal is miyayish, yiyosh, it's not considered shini rishus. We're going to get this ikka sugyas of yiyosh, of giving up things and having change of ownership impacting the din of bilis on the object. We'll get into that. So again, and if you're not the original ganef, you won't pay dalid v'hei. Okay, so what did the Mishnah say? The Mishnah said that there's the occurrence of kefil is much more than the occurrence of dalid v'hei, because ganef is by anything, whether it's alive or dead, and dalid v'hei is only unique to shav v'seh. We have a din of ein goinef achar aganif, and that You have to steal from the original owner to pay kefil, not from a neganif. And the same thing with visa dalad behay. Okay, now we spoke out toyin tinus ganif, toyin tinus dalad behay. Ve'ilu midas tashlume kefil leheges bein beganif bein betoyin tinus ganif umidas tashlume abba b'chamisha ein leheges ela beganif b'vad loiketani. In other words, you could have told me a difference in the Mishnah that you didn't. Fellas, you could have told me the following, that if you're toyin tinus ganif, you pay kefil, but if toyin tinus dalad behay, you don't. Why didn't you tell me that? Because if you would do toyin tinus dalad behay, you would pay. You would pay, right? In other words, you didn't tell me the chilik because that's not the chilik. That's not the chilik. Why? So this is Messiah lay. This is a proof. Rabbi Barabba to Rabbi Barabba. Dam Rabbi Barabba. Rabbi Yochanan. Hatoyin tainas ganef bepikadin. Someone who claims that his pikadin it was stolen from him. Mishalim tashlumi kefal. Pavach umacher mishalim tashlumi abba b'chamisha. Good. In other words, if he's toyin tainas ganef and he when he shechted it and he stole it. No, he's not tining dalad vehay, guys. He's tining ganef. But you know what he did? Not only did he steal it, then he went and sold it, or then he went and he shechted it. He gets bumped up. Ikad the army, lema messiah lay. It's the same din, but in other words, but learn it as an open proof, not an inference. Messiah Rabbi Barabba, Dam Rabbi Barabba, Rabbi Yochanan. At 20 times ganef because Mishalim Tashlum above. Tavach Mach Mishalim Tashvil. Mikatan says the Gemara, and for the Gemara you have no raya. Mikatani Ein Bain, Meruba Katani. It doesn't say Ein Bain. From the famous Masechta, which Masechta is in the Baruch? Maybe Megillah, right? That Masechta Megillah, all the Ein Bains, right? We say all the Chilukim. It didn't say there's no difference. In other words, you can't say that is a difference. In other words, you're not going to pay dalad v'hei. You'd only pay kefil. Why didn't you mention it? Because we just said Meruba. In other words, we didn't include everything. Ein Bain would mean these are the only differences. No, there are more differences, but we only mentioned what? That dalad vehay is noig by sharvaseh and ganav is noig by everything else. But ein achinami, if he would have gone ahead and stolen it and said I stole it and then shechted it, he wouldn't pay. He wouldn't pay dalad vehay. Says the Gemara, Meruba Katani, Tana Vishaya. He learned this, Tana Vishaya. And he learned it and he left out. And there's other difference also. Now, usually when you take ton of shaya, what do you have afterwards? My shaya, the high shaya. Guys, in other words, usually when you leave out something, you leave out more. So let's see Taisos. The Taisos, the second Taisos on the page. And it's right before it gets wide, about 3 lines up, Vim Tomar, second line up. Vim Tomar, we have it in my shire. Guys, you have it. The second, it's the third. It's the third Taisus on the page. The second Taisus in the parak. You have it, fellas. Vim Taimar. Umay shaya the high shaya. Why did you leave out that you left out dalad v'hei as a chilik between Geneva and dalad v'hei? V'yesh leimar the shire tainis ganef ba'aveda. The darish the kamon Rabbi Yochanan the mishalim kefil. V'yitoyin tainis ganef b'kodin loy mishalim above chamisha. Right. In other words, when are you going to pay? It would only be by if you're a shomer, if you're pikadon, if you're a shomer on pikadon, you'll pay kefil, and that might lead to dalad v'hei. If you're shomer on pikadon on aveda, you're not going to pay kefil. So mamela, you won't pay dalad v'hei either. You won't pay dalad v'hei either. So that would be one difference that we left out. What that there's no dalad v'hei what by shomer pikadon. Shomer Aveda. V'oid Mishaya Shutif Sheganav Mechaveiroi. V'shufim Shegan V'oilem Mishalim above Chamisha Kidam Lekaman. In other words, what could you left out? They would pay kefil, but they wouldn't pay dalad v'hei. So my shaya the high shaya, you left out dalad. You left out. There's no chi of dalad v'hei by a shomer. There's no chi of dalad v'hei by a shutif. There's no chi of dalad v'hei by a shomer Aveda. Those would be differences. Okay, we could stop over here. Yeah, I have a sit up. Okay.